face, Mike.
What's wrong with my mic? I don't want it facing me like that. I did that purposely.
This is the rebel.
But I did it purposely. I want it up like this. I ain't want it.
I'm gonna post that picture if I took it too.
You better not.
Yes, I am. You
You
do
better
it.
not.
Don't be ashamed of the stuff you do.
Baby, I was being funny though.
Okay. If I got it, it's going up.
You bet not.
Yep.
You bet. Okay. All right, I'm gonna post you sleep snoring. I'm gonna post a video of you snoring.
I don't snore often.
Sounding like a grizzly
You snore
bear.
more than me. So let's get the snoring videos.
Okay, let's get it. Let's get it. I ain't gonna be ashamed of mine.
I ain't either.
You ain't heard you.
I don't snore like that.
I woke up frightened one. Ha!
Stop it.
Yes, you.
Stop it. Stop it. I snore pretty.
Shh. What's up? What's up? What's up? Say, man, we back.
We back.
We back in this thing. We back in this thing. We back. Say, man, for those of you for your first time tuning in, we are the dynamic duo called the Couples Lounge. I am your boy, Kappa Man, Newt Man, Remon Tuck. This is my sexy chocolate chip.
I'm Candace. I'm Miss Tuck.
Already. And we're the Couples Lounge, where we talk about marriage, relationships, love, everything that has anything to do with relationships and uplifting marriages and relationships. That's what we're here for.
And I'm going to tell you now, if you're new to the channel, we are very authentic. I was going to say raw, but we're authentic.
Yeah.
We are just going to be us. We hope you vibe with our energy, our personalities, and our truth. We are been married, it'll be 23 years this year, and been together 30. It took him a little time to propose, but we got there. We was in college, so that's a different story. But we just hope you all enjoy. And it's more than just for marriages. You're going to grow as an individual when you tune in to the Couples Lounge show.
Absolutely, absolutely.
And so y'all need to be paying attention, because if we say something that you like, something that you can learn from, something you can walk away from, we're going to ask you to subscribe to the channel.
So, no, I'm asking you to subscribe to the channel now. So, if you're not on YouTube, go to YouTube, search the Couples Lounge, and hit the subscribe button for your boy.
The subscribe button.
That's what I said.
You said the subscribe button.
I said, but I'm country, y'all. I'm from East Texas. I'm country. Don't pay her no mind.
So, baby.
Yes.
First show.
First show.
New season.
New season.
What was your motto that you said for this year? It needs to be the theme for this year is what?
No more excuses.
No more excuses. He thought he was talking to the women, but it was like an on-time thing that it applies perfectly for our 2025. So no more excuses.
Yes.
So the first show is
okay.
You done got married.
I'm
now
married.
What? So you're married.
Right.
Now what? What I realized is this.
What you realize, girl?
Is when we get married, although we are coming before God,
yes,
we are entering into our marriages from our man-made ways of being.
Right.
Man-made laws and man-made perceptions, and we're not going into it with a spiritual mindset, saying that we're gonna go by spiritual laws. Yeah, you got a few of them that you say, the normal ones. You supposed to be faithful, and you got the normal, but marriage is a spiritual union, a unity.
Yes,
and we going in with man-made ego way of being.
Right.
So that was the first thing that stood out to me as I thought about marriage. Your perspective.
When you talking about at the time?
Married now what? Yeah, man-made.
When I first got married, I thought the same thing. I was gonna get plenty of sex. My wife was gonna cook all the time. You know, I just gotta go to work and just have a job, and that was pretty much it. And be faithful.
Mm-hmm.
That is as deep as I thought. Be faithful, have a job. I'm gonna get plenty. She gonna cook all the time. She gonna clean. She gonna do all that. Nothing else came to mind at that particular time. I just thought I just needed to, like I said, be faithful and have a job.
So it's the lack of I think it's just a lack of knowing.
Yeah.
And many people don't prepare for marriage prior to marriage.
No.
That's why I be so happy when we get premarital couples.
Right.
Because they are at least saying, we want to go into this with some skills, some tools, some awarenesses, and I know what we're bringing to the table. So y'all going to get a glimpse of, you got to have a relationship with God.
Yeah.
You cannot do marriage without God.
No.
And we've tried to, and I won't say intentionally tried to do it, but God wasn't always the lead in it or the center of it, because we did have these man-made, you ain't finna do this, you ain't gonna talk, and it was not nowhere in alignment.
And if you look at it like this, life by yourself is difficult to impossible to do without God. Now, when you throw in other people in your circle,
right,
and you trying to do it without God, that's man. Because when it's not just you and your spouse, most likely you have kids.
Yeah.
Raising them, teaching them, covering, trying to cover over them and provide, and you're solely responsible for the well-being of your seed.
Yeah.
So imagine doing that at the same time loving another person.
Trying to do this marriage thing
without God. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's, man. It's already difficult. It can be.
Yeah. It's gonna be challenging.
Challenging.
Yeah.
Difficult might be the bad word.
Or a word for it.
Yeah.
So you're married.
Yeah. Now what?
Yeah. So y'all better tune in.
Yeah.
Because if you're thinking about marriage, you engaged, or even for us that are married, because what I have learned is that although we've been together longer than what we have not been together, we are still learning. We are still evolving.
Wait, we've been together longer than we
have not. We got together at 18.
Yeah. Oh,
We've been together for 30 years this year.
I didn't even think about that.
Yeah.
That's why I got the gray. Okay.
Whatever.
You ain't got gray. I got gray. That's why.
Because you stress your own self out. That's why. You ain't doing the work.
Whatever.
So now that you are married, it is understanding that your relationship changes the moment that you say I do. And a lot of people feel like, our relationship ain't going to change. It has changed in so many ways. For one, you've now become up under the covenant of God.
Right.
We've made God proud, because there's sin that we'll no longer be participating in, like sex outside of marriage. So there's now a light.
But we didn't do that. We did it the right way.
He's not being honest. We was all out of alignment.
Yeah, we was.
All out of alignment.
And that's because of her. I tried to be a good Christian young man that I was raised to be. Go ahead. Sorry,
y'all are going to learn about this one too. Y'all will learn as the show go on. Not in a minute. But focus, boy.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry.
So when you get married, you now have a light, because it's God's union. So now it's this light on you.
Yeah.
The light that comes with it is, people are watching you now.
Yeah.
Just like the sun. It's bright. It's a union. People are all gushing over. Oh, y'all did it. Yeah. Y'all finally tied the knot. And with that light, somebody else is also peeping the light.
Let me ask you a question. We ain't talked about this. Who do you think changes more once they get married, the man or the woman?
What do you mean? Change from their single ways?
Or just change, period? Just in general. Who changes more?
I feel like who is willing to change more is
I
the
didn't
woman.
ask you that.
Who
I didn't ask
changes
you
more?
Yes. The man or the woman, the husband or the wife. That man or that woman changes more
Because of marriage.
because they're married. What? I think I know. Go ahead. Go ahead.
I think I'm gonna. I don't know. I was gonna go with what came to my mind.
What comes to mind?
I think men are probably required to change more.
I didn't
because
ask
I
you
think-
all this. See, this is what you're going to realize too, fellas, when you get married. This right here. Are y'all paying attention?
What was that? Who changes more?
Yeah,
that's a loaded question.
No, it's not a loaded question. That is
It
a simple
is.
question. Are you listening, fellas? This is a simple question. We're on I-20 going west. Stop getting on 820, 67 right now. Stay on 20. We're going east.
Who changes more? I'm gonna say y'all. If I have to just give a quick answer,
The
y'all,
man changes more.
because y'all are farther from God.
What the? That is honestly, you think that's the reason why a man changes more?
Yeah.
Okay, explain. We're farther from God. Explain that.
I think when you think of the characteristics of God, nurturer, lover, grace, forgiveness, all the aspects that God is, that is a woman. No, follow me. Women are nurturers, feminine energy, creativity,
So
willing to forgive. No, I'm not saying men are not, but the
Men don't,
nature
okay.
when you describe who God is.
So
in
you
his
say God, if you had to put the holiness into
Is
in
a
a
woman?
category, you saying you saying God will be considered a woman?
Father, mother, God. Yep.
Oh,
Two aspects of God. Yeah.
That's a show in itself.
It is.
Are you kidding me?
It is.
But yet, as a woman, he's putting so much emphasis. Okay,
What is your opinion to the question?
Men changes more.
Yeah, y'all ask me
Hold
'cause y'all so
on. Now
far
that I
away.
say that, originally I said men,
Mhm.
but I think women change more. Y'all do. I do. Godly, I don't.
Why did you say men originally?
Because I just looked at one aspect. But honestly, now that I think about it, women change more. Because through time, y'all change. Your body changes.
Well, see, that's why I said it's a loaded
Hold
question.
on,
Was
no,
you talking about
that-
body?
Are you
Was
listening, fellas? I was answering, but now she won't let. Listen, because I'm sure I'm not the only man it happened to. Women change more because physically, y'all change from head to toe, from outside to inside. And sometimes y'all change and y'all don't even realize y'all changing because the way God made y'all bodies are changing. So therefore you're changing. You're acting in ways you don't even realize you're acting. You just totally change. You're a totally different person.
Again, that question can take you down 20, 30, 65, all of it. You have to be more specific in the ways, because you could say who's changed overall. Is it overall, spiritually, emotionally, mentally, physically?
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
So we both agree, men. Go with your first mind. Go with your first mind. Okay, you're married now. What? Y'all had to have my little notes because I don't want to. This show is too important for the simple
Y'all
fact.
answer that question. For the couples that are watching, who has changed more in your marriage from the beginning to especially if you've been married a long time? Who has changed more, or who has marriage changed more? That's a better question. Who has marriage, the union of marriage
It's the
change
same.
more.
The same question you
And I
asked.
would say marriage have the bigger impact on men.
A bigger impact. I don't know. He throwing multiple
I am.
shows, like
Okay.
shows that can be
Oh,
individual
okay.
shows.
Who marriage has a bigger impact on who? Man,
And
that's
and
a
then
show.
and then too, I do want to stay away from this season. I don't want things to feel separated.
No, I'm
No,
not.
no, no,
Oh,
no.
okay,
I'm
okay.
just saying because a lot of times in a lot of podcasts and a lot of people you see try to make things separate, like this gender war going on,
Yeah,
and I
nah,
don't
was
want
just a
to
healthy
create a
conversation.
gender
Yeah.
war
I agree.
in between
You know,
people.
who has to change more? That to me, that's just a healthy, friendly
Because the reality
conversation.
of it is everybody
Both,
is changing. And if you
absolutely.
ain't changing, that's a problem. Marriage should change you. And that's a judgment saying should, but it really should. When you get married, you should change because you are now in a covenant with God, not just your spouse. And so you should be saying, God, I'm trying to do this thing in according to you. And according to God, there's a lot of stuff that just in life, we got to change. If you want to live in alignment with God, you're going to have to change from the person that you were before you chose or to make that choice.
Yeah,
You got to be willing to change.
absolutely.
And so this show is so important is because I was hearing some stats about marriage and definitely in the Black community that concerned me.
Like
Like
what? What you heard?
it was like in the past that we were married at a higher rate. And like now it's like 34%. And they were saying in the future it'll be less than that. Like, y'all, no, like as a marriage is the cornerstone of our community. We have got to stay together. We have got to figure this out. And as my husband loves to say, it's so simple, but it's only simple if you understand the why and how God created it and be willing. That's your thing. You always say it's just so simple. It's so simple, but everything, well, I guess it becomes simple when you have an understanding.
Right.
Now, actually doing it may bring some challenges, but once you understand it, you can move towards whatever that goal is, and it makes it a little bit less difficult.
Right.
So, in the Bible, it says that we are to become as one, becoming one. Did you really think about that prior to marriage?
No.
Because now that you married, you got to understand that you are to become one.
Yes and no. Yes. Did I think about it in depth, in detail? No. Did you?
No.
I didn't either. No.
I mean, I had a very surface understanding of that.
Yeah, well said. I will say the same. I had a surface.
What did you think it was, becoming one?
We live together. We do, sex, just me and you. We, we pay the bills together.
Yeah.
That was it.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's pretty much it. We pay the bills together. We take care of this together. When we just have sex with just each other. That was it. That was it. That's as far as I thought.
And I can't say I can't even say what I thought then. Just becoming one, like we married now.
Yeah.
So that was the oneness.
Yeah.
That this is the person that I'm doing life with.
You gotta look at
one.
We got married young.
Yeah.
And when you get married young, and for everybody that
got
got
stuff
married,
you don't know.
Yeah, I just for say that you don't know a lot, and you make a lot of mistakes. And think about it, the generation before us, our parents, they got married a lot of times probably younger than we did. And their parents got married younger, You got out of high school, our parents and their generation, your thing was get out of high school, get a job, and start a family. Probably at 18.
Their generation.
Our generation, got married later.
You think so?
Yeah, our generation we didn't get married as
I
soon as
think
our
this
parents.
generation is getting
No,
married
this
later.
generation is getting married later than we did.
Yeah.
If let's say if our parents' generation was
Was
here,
18, we was
we right here,
25.
yeah, and theirs is 30, 35.
Yeah.
They graduating college, starting a career, then thinking about getting married. We went to college, then got married,
Yeah.
then started the
Yeah.
career and the
Yeah.
family. They starting the careers and everything, then they'll focus on getting married. I don't even know what our grandkids, they gonna get married at 45, 47 years old. Like, yeah, you don't get married before 50, boy.
Bring it back. Run it back. Come on back.
Exactly.
20 is a good time
No,
to
what the?
not 20 years old, in your
Oh.
20s. In your 20s. In your 20s.
No, I disagree.
In your 20s.
I say 30 to 35. 35 is a good age.
If you did marriage like God was supposed to, like you supposed to do it, I mean, you having your first baby at 35. Well, the woman is having her first baby at 30, 35. And that's too late.
30, yes, 30 is not too late. That you got. How old would you call you?
29. Borderline too late.
No, 30 is not.
Look, we could have been living our life.
Yeah, that's the only negative part about having kids late. Is by the time they get out the house, you about checking out, going to the upper room. It's about time to go on, check on up out of here at that point. So you can't live life without them. When you have kids early, when they get out, you
still got life.
Yeah, you got 20, 30 years of just, your money is your money.
Yeah.
But you make a lot of mistakes parenting when you're young.
I think
why I say
you do anything for the first time, you're gonna make
true, but at
those
30,
learning.
35, you're more mature in almost every aspect of life, opposed to your 24, 25.
But we've
20.
learned a lot. We've grown up together, so we've learned a lot.
Really
so
have.
I think it's more. It's an appreciation there to see the growth.
Would you recommend to our kids to get married at 24, 25? We got married at 25. How old was we?
25.
25. Would you recommend get married at 25?
Yeah. If you got a
I wouldn't.
Jesus.
No, I'm not saying that in a bad way. I mean, I would want my children to be established themselves. Now, if they got a good man, or if she got a good man that got his heads on right and he's determined and focused and driven, and he's willing to say, baby, Kaya, I love you.
Okay.
And vice versa for my son.
So it's really not age. You talking about maturity level.
Yes, and establish stability.
Mm-hmm.
I would like them to be able to stand on their own 2 feet without needing a wife or needing a husband to help them do it.
But you realize it's 30 and 40-year-olds that still can't stand on their feet right now and life is established.
This economy is crazy out here right now.
No, it ain't about the economy. That's about the individual.
True, yeah, true.
Yeah.
But no, hold on.
But hold on. Nope. We are about to get out. It is marriage.
Right.
Now what? Y'all forgive us, because sometimes it's how it go. We'll get to talking about other stuff.
Good conversation.
Yes, we are having good conversation, but the people are married now. What we was talking about becoming.
Yes.
And as I was preparing for this show, I was like, what does becoming really means? So, and I looked up the spiritual definition of becoming. It is to grow, to, let me make sure I get this right. It's to grow, to change, and to transform.
Okay.
So if you go take it back to marriage, to grow,
that's something
to change,
will do. That's something you will do,
and transform.
That's hopefully that's something you do.
So
but the first two you're going to do. You're going to grow.
Mm-hmm.
You will change, and hopefully you'll transform it.
Well, if you're growing and you changing, you should be transforming. It should kind of all go together.
It should.
And so you when you think of the scripture,
they could be the same, but they could be different too, though. Transforming and growing is not necessarily the same, I think.
I will beg to
You
differ.
disagree? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. I mean, I'm
So
right.
when you are becoming one, it's the understanding in our becoming of oneness. We're gonna grow. We're gonna have to change, and we're gonna transform. But to do that,
Mm-hmm.
you're going to have situations. And
Mm-hmm.
so when you get married, I know I was in the biggest fairy tale of my life when I chose to get married. I literally thought everything that was happening prior to marriage was no longer going to be happening. We are in this Cinderella life. Everything is up from here. Psych. That was an old school word. I was like, wait, what? So I'm saying all that to say when you get married, yes, you probably have an assumption of some things that are going to stop. It's no longer going to be, oh, we married now. And that may not always be the case.
Right.
And it's probably never going to be the case. Like who you were before you put the ring on, all of that now
The older
stops.
you get, each individual person changes.
Mm-hmm.
Let's say you got married at 30. You're not the same man or the same woman at 40, 45,
Mm-hmm.
50,
Mm-hmm.
you know, and vice versa. So yeah, you can't help but change.
Yeah. And I know I've said this on previous shows. The change is going to come whether we want it to or not.
Yeah.
It's
And our
because
changes not good changes either.
No, it don't have. When your mind ain't right, that is absolutely correct.
Yeah, you can change for the worse.
Yep, you absolutely can.
Yeah.
Definitely when you're thinking marriage is gonna be one thing, y'all. Marriage is literally, according to the word, it is. This union right here is an example of Jesus Christ's relationship with his children,
Right.
God's relationship with the kingdom, or with his with us. And so there are some things that we got to get rid of that no longer serves us. It's things that we got to release, like doubt, like fear, resentment, bitterness, anger. Marriage causes you to have to heal. It's going to bring all your stuff to the surface, all your childhood stuff.
When you
and
say
then you
marriage
get to choose.
change forces you to heal, explain it. I don't think people truly understand when you say that. What does that mean? How does marriage forces you to heal?
Because when you start seeing these a series of things happening in your marriage that is bringing about, I'm gonna say for the sake of the show, negative things are coming up. And so when those things come up, it when you're triggered or you're having all these emotions, it's your triggers, your emotions are coming up because they're talking to you. They're telling you something.
Right.
Anger telling you that you need to have a boundary. It's a boundary here you need to set.
Right.
Sadness is telling you need to let go of something.
Right.
Guilt and shame coming forward, you need to heal something there.
Right.
And so in your healing it, you begin to show up, but being in this intimate relationship with somebody who see you every single day, somebody who knows you at your lowest, at your highest, they're seeing things in you that you don't see in yourself. Your marriage, and they're gonna call it out, but it's all to, in life we are supposed to be trying to be like Christ.
Yeah.
And in order to be like Christ, this human side of us, it's parts of that we gotta release, kill, however you want to look at the ego. And being in a marriage, it's a perfect, space, hopefully a safe space for you to grow, for you to heal, for you to change, for you to be able to call out stuff and be like, babe, you realize you doing this, or you got a goal or a dream, and
babe, you do realize you don't cook enough, right? No, I'm thinking out loud. Go ahead, babe.
That's not in the word. You can also cook, and you do a very good job at it. You want to take it over?
No.
Feel free.
There's times
you want to take it over?
No.
Why not?
Because I've taken it over at time and it spoiled you. It got to the point to where I was doing it a lot.
Why not take it over though?
You done got to the point like you feel you didn't need to do it no more.
You're amazing at it. Why not take it over?
Go, come on with the show, woman. Come on with the show, woman.
I would love to release that to you because I think you do such a great job at it. You're an amazing cook.
When the kids leave the house,
You'll
I
become the cook
I
full
would
time?
not. I would do it majority of the time.
Why you gotta wait till they leave?
Yeah, I'm not doing that right now. Yeah, I'm not doing that right now. I'm not doing that. Yeah, cause yeah. When baby girl leave, and it's just us, I'm not gonna say I do more. I say that I
Okay.
cook more. I put that on there
So
more.
I would say this in the becoming one, you all got to be willing to give each other grace and mercy because you are becoming, you are changing, you are growing, you are transforming. And it's to become is like the beginning. It's just like I'm gonna become this. It's a development, and so many times we want to run, we want a divorce.
Right.
No, like this ain't what I signed up for, but it is. You didn't realize it. And let me give a disclaimer. I'm not talking about abuse.
Okay.
I'm not talking about abuse. That is not in alignment with God.
Right.
But yeah, you signed up to change. You just thought that, I'm gonna speak for all of us. It's the thinking that, we going into marriage, it's all finna to be just amazing all the time. And
no, every day
I would
ain't
tell
a good
you this,
day.
what I have learned in marriage is once my mindset shifted, I'm able to look at marriage now and the things that we go through as what is God trying to show me.
Right.
And that has been so supportive because I get to look at me first and still be able to hold you accountable or call you higher. Or
I think two things.
Mhm.
First, I think a lot of people find it difficult. I think some people, it's difficult for them to look at themselves first.
Yeah.
I think some people have a difficult time looking in the mirror and truly seeing their faults. Man and women. I'm not putting that on woman. I'm not putting that on man. I'm saying people
Mhm.
in general.
Yeah.
What I'm gonna ask you after this commercial break is, this is the question I'm gonna ask you. What has God shown you? You said God has shown.
Mhm.
What has He
But I don't
shown?
think we're doing a commercial break.
No, I'm doing a little break. Yes, we are. See, this is new season, baby. I forgot. It's not a commercial break. It's just a
Okay.
pause.
Okay.
Pause. The pause is, what do we have coming up that the people should sign up for to attend? Do we have another amazing marriage retreat coming?
We do have an amazing marriage
Tell the people
retreat
about
that
the
is
retreat,
coming
baby.
up.
When is the retreat?
October the 30th through November the 2nd. Y'all, we got a new location. More couples that can attend because of the new location. We are going to Summers Mill Retreat Center in, oh Lord, I got so many trips going. Belton, Texas. I got another retreat. Belton, Texas. But it's gonna be a whole vibe. I'm
Yes.
excited.
We got some people coming.
We got 2 people that's gonna be supportive in making this it bigger, taking you deeper, taking you higher. So we got some other coaches that will be supporting us in this. But and the whole thing about it is for us to really make it to forever, to our vows, what we are committed to. It is us going higher, like, and giving y'all a safe place to be able to talk about the things, because communication is big.
Yeah.
And so it's us being able to come, have fun,
Yes.
and just talk about
Yes.
all the things. And so, yeah,
Absolutely.
make sure that you register. If you register in May, you get a free coaching session. But go to www.spiritualmarriageretreat.com in order to book and reserve your spot. You want to be there. You want to be there. And you can make easy payments. All right.
Absolutely. Okay. So now back to the show.
Okay.
What has God shown you? Or
Ooh.
and here's a part 2 to that. No, well, I'll just let you answer that. What do you think God has shown you
About me.
about you?
Man, God has shown me that, oh my God. It's, yeah. it's been so much. Let me try to give you just some of the things that I've learned that in my desire for what it is that I want or that I see, that I haven't always given my husband grace. That I have just been like, no, it's got to be like this, or it's got to look like I think it has to look. And in that, I've discovered that is arrogance, because sometimes that was not even allowing God space to do what God needed to do. I've seen and this is one that was recently where I have gotten before God. I've been praying for something and believing something, and it was almost like, okay, God, I'm going to do this. And then you had asked me about it. And the fact that you asked me about it, I was like, oh, wow.
What was it?
It was when Pastor Taylor asked you to go to lunch. And then the next day you was like, why did he ask me that? Did you tell him to do?
Yeah, I knew you did.
And I didn't tell him to take you to lunch. I did not. I told you what what I asked him. But because I reflect and I sit and I think, and when stuff like that happens, I know it's not a coincidence. And so what I heard God tell me was, basically, you need to get behind me. Don't go in front of me. You praying about it, believe it's going to happen when it needs to happen. And that has been pivotal. Not my lessons, they come, but they are universal. It's not just for us. So in everything that I started doing, I had to tell myself, stay behind God.
Right.
And in that, it allowed me to have patience. Right. In that, it allowed me to sit in my prayers and trust that my prayers will manifest, because I know God answers my prayers. And so that's just one way in which God has revealed himself or changed me in the process. It's me even seeing you, God, seeing the loving essence of you, and not focusing on the lack of better words, bad things that need to grow. Okay. And not just focus. It's a scripture in the Bible that says, basically, focus your thoughts on good things. Let your thoughts be pure. And so it was like, see the loving essence. I still see the human side, but see the loving essence, see the spiritual side of him, see his heart, and still be willing to see these areas, but being able to look at you in that way. It took off the resentment. It took off the anger. It took off the disgust and the stuff that I was feeling. It took that away. So that's just a couple of the ways in which God has changed me. It was. I did have it. I did. Shoot.
We both have.
Okay, well, speak on how God has changed you. Now you're married. Now what? So what's your change as we are becoming?
No, that was my question for you.
No, you're going to answer it as well. Go ahead.
How has God changed me since I've been married? I think, well, in several ways. I should have known you was gonna ask me that.
You don't want to share?
Yeah, I can share. He's changed me in several ways. One, I'm more. Marriage has changed me in this way. I think less, or I'm willing to do less for myself than I ever have before. When you're single, it's all about you. And then,
baby, you good. You good. It's first show. You okay?
And then when you get married, you make your family the priority. And you put yourself in the back burner. And that's the main thing. One of the main things that easily stands out for me. Yeah.
Okay. So yeah, there's a lot of growth that has happened. Cause marriage, You done got married, now what? Your marriage is going to be a mirror for you. Your spouse is going to be a mirror for you. Your spouse is going to show you you. What do I mean? However you act and whatever is coming up for you because of your spouse, they're showing you you. And you can choose to blame them all you want, or you can take a reflective look within and then go without. Start in and then go without. So yeah. So becoming one. Give yourself grace to become and be willing to change, be willing to grow, be willing to transform. And that's another benefit of the marriage retreat.
Right.
That's an example that shows your spouse, by you showing up, that I am willing to change, I am willing to grow, I am willing to transform, so that we can honor our vows, so that we can make it to forever, so that we can make God proud.
You said something a while ago that I think is very key and very important about you giving me grace.
Mm-hmm.
I think, no, I know for a fact that when you get married, you're going to have to give grace to your spouse. Your spouse is going to fall short or not be on their A game 7 days a week, 365 a year. You have to give them grace. Mistakes will happen. Things may be said that they may regret, or things they do they may regret. But I think it's so important to give grace, because if you're not willing to give grace to your spouse for whatever reason, how do you make it to forever? Because again, I'm going to do something wrong.
Mm-hmm.
You're going to do something wrong.
Mm-hmm.
We're not perfect. And when you don't give grace and you hold mistakes over their head and you beat them with it all the time, verbally and emotionally, from their shortcomings, it makes it difficult to move on.
Mm-hmm.
So being able to give grace makes it harder, makes it easier for you to receive it. Because me giving you grace makes it easier for you to give me grace.
Yep.
Like, dang,
Yep.
baby didn't beat me over the head with this.
Mm-hmm.
That's
absolutely true. That's a good point.
And at times, especially if you're young, I will say this: if you're young, maybe not necessarily when you're young. I'm thinking it's a young mistake, but it may not be. I know it's not. Holding their shortcomings over their head and verbally, emotionally beating them up with it.
Yeah. And I was just finished to get to that, actually. So let me say this before we move into that. It's understanding, when you was talking about the grace, what came up for me is this. I'm going to say the majority of us,
Us or just
the people,
okay.
do not know who they are.
Oh wow.
Do not know who we really, really are. We don't. We don't.
I never thought about that.
In life, just in general, people do not know who they are.
Who
and
is Candace?
that is, hold on. That is that becoming more Christ-like too. Like, God gotta let me show you who you really, really are.
Right.
A lot of us are operating in limitation and lack.
Right.
We don't have faith. We do not know how powerful we really are to create that which we desire, because we ain't looking at ourselves as a child of God and how God created us. And that's going to be picking that up too. And so, who is Candace? I'm powerful. I'm creative. I'm fun. I'm joy. I am love.
Sexy. You are. Oh, I'm sorry.
I am creative.
Sexy.
So I am a child of God.
Sexy.
So
throw that in
it's
there. Or you sexy, baby?
I'm sexy. I'm
Ooh,
sexy.
I love it. Yes, you are.
So in that
Girl.
knowing who you are, and there's so many times that when I do this, when I have trainings and I do trainings at school for companies or whatever, I ask that question. When I speak, I ask that question. And most people are going to tell me titles. I ask it whenever. 9 out of 10 times I'm asking it. And people are saying titles and they're not describing who they are. And when I tell them you can't tell me a title, they get stumped. So people, and I'm saying all of that to say this, is that you got to extend the grace and the mercy and the love and be forgiving because you're dealing with somebody that's just like you that don't know who they are. So you wondering why he won't lead. You wondering why he won't provide. You wondering why it's a challenge for her to be submissive. You wondering why there's a lack of respect in the relationship. You're wondering why people do not know who they are, who they really are. Why are they so emotional? Why are they angry? Why they do not know who they are. Why are they stubborn? Why are they arrogant? Because they do not know who they are.
Right.
So you got to be willing. And so going to what you was just talking about, now that you are married, you don't get to allow your heart to harden. You do not have permission to have a hardened heart when you are married. And it goes back to what you were saying. You want to finish?
No,
Do you remember what you were saying?
What about?
You was just saying you are able to give me grace because I give you grace.
Oh, yes. No, I was talking about how, and I was referring like when you said when you're young, you do it when you're young, but some people just do it no matter what their age is. Hold a
No. Mama Tuck, Mama Walker. We can hear y'all. Go.
Hold your mistakes over your head and use it against you. You know, and yeah, it's just wrong.
Yeah. And so a hardened heart looks like this. This is what I'm saying we don't have permission to do. We don't have permission not to forgive.
Yeah.
Because we're going to be asking God for as much sin as we do. We want God to forgive us, but we won't forgive our significant others.
Right.
You don't have permission to be harsh with your words.
Right.
You don't get to do that. You don't get to do that when you are married. Somebody has on their wedding day given you their heart. They're saying, I am giving this to you and I'm expecting you to take care of it. I'm going to say men and women, same thing. It ain't just the women.
Yeah, no.
You are giving somebody your heart. You saying, I'm finna do life with you. I'm expecting you to take care of me emotionally, mentally, spiritually, and physically.
Right.
Take care of me. So we don't have permission to allow our hearts to get hardened. To withdraw your love from them. To withdraw kindness and tenderness. We don't get permission, y'all, to do that. Now, if you dealing with somebody that is abusive or a habitual cheater, and you don't have to stay in your marriage. You don't. But even if you choose to get out, you gotta forgive them. Because then you're going to take all that pain and stuff into your next marriage. You're going to allow that pain to cloud your vision. And you're going to miss out on a good thing because you carrying stuff that you are unwilling to forgive. Carrying stuff, man, is heavy. Yeah. It's heavy. Like, that's one activity I plan to do at our marriage retreat.
What's that?
It's really to show people when you carrying stuff, how it feels. And so, and you not really realizing the load that you are carrying.
Right.
So that's yeah. that's my end. So
Okay.
we love to do a somebody should have told me
Right.
moments at the end of our show. We have a book titled Somebody Should Have Told Me Marriage. Do we really know what it's about? And you can get that at www.lulu.com.
Okay.
So now married.
Married.
Now what?
Now what? Now what?
What would you say overall?
Now that I'm married, now what? Make God the center point, the centerpiece for your union.
Can't do it without him.
Don't look back. Stop looking back. When you're looking back, it's hard to look forward. Have grace because you're going to need it. So have grace for your spouse and continue to try to grow and be better, not only for your spouse, but more importantly for yourself. Because if I'm trying to be better for me, you're the recipient of it, which is a blessing. So that's my now what.
Okay. So married, now what? You have made God proud. You have told God that I am willing to go into this covenant, this union with you and this other person so that I become a better version of myself, so that I become more Christ-like, so that I can heal, so that I can grow and transform. That's what's going to happen now that you are married. And you know how when you pray for God for something, he gonna answer. If it's according to his will, he gonna answer. But what I've discovered, 9 times out of 10, it don't look like I think it should look, like I thought it would look, like I expected it to look. But it happened. And so you've prayed for this spouse. You've prayed for this marriage opportunity. So getting to forever may not look like you think it's going to look. But if it's your marriage is according to God and I'm talking to the spiritual, you're in a spiritual union because it's different from a man-made union or your man-made laws and we're going to do this our way and not the biblical way. If you're doing it from a spiritual union, then you just need to understand that there are going to be experiences that you're going to have. And if you do like my husband and make God the center and trust and believe, and you really get up under that and really try to live your best from the word, you will make it there and you will be able to make it there safely. And I think the quickest that you get the understanding that God is literally walking this out and that it is about the stuff that we talked about today on the show, it does become simple. The process may be challenging, but the thought is simple.
Easy. Yeah.
So thank y'all for tuning in to the first show of this season. Make sure you book the marriage retreat, www.spiritualmarriageretreat.com. You want to be in the place. Thank y'all for hanging out with the Couples Lounge with Remon and Candace Tuck. We're going to throw our sign up. This going to be like, my baby ain't going to ever stop.
No.
Ain't going to ever stop.
No. Can't stop, won't stop. Oh, you can't even say that no more.
What? Can't stop.
You can't say that no more.
Bye, y'all.